Good morning. Welcome to Reading the Science of Mind in 1 year. Reverend Rafe Ellis here, Senior Minister, Spiritual Leader of the Center for Spiritual Living, Common Ground in Central Maryland. Today is July 23rd. Um, we had some technical issues with the first run this morning, so I'm going to try this again. And my understanding, comments in the section was that the reading volume was too low on the recording, so I'm going to read it as we go so that you can actually hear it. Um, so, July 23rd, Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, A Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 305, paragraph 4 through page 307, paragraph 3, using inclusive language. No personal responsibility. No matter how great a responsibility may rest in that which must be done, never let one moment's responsibility rest in your own thought about it, because that to which the mind gives birth is, and every idea is bound to produce an effect exactly like its cause. When we make a demonstration, we must accept all that goes with it. Therefore, all demonstrations should be made in peace, confidence, and joy, and in a realization of divine love and perfection permeating everything. The reason for this is evident, for we are dealing with the law of cause and effect. We are not depending on chance, but upon the law. The responsibility of setting the law in motion is ours, but the responsibility of making it work is inherent in its own nature. We must know that we are dealing with the substance from which all things are made. Nothing moves but mind, and we are dealing with the mind that is the mover, the creator, the cause of all that is and is to be. We should sense that back of the word which we speak is the power of the universe, surging to express itself. Then speak the word consciously, knowing that it is law. The law of correspondence. Our limit, the limit of our ability to demonstrate depends upon our ability to provide a mental equivalent of our desires. For the law of correspondence works from the belief to the thing. It is within our power to provide a greater mental equivalent through the unfolding of consciousness. This growth from within will finally lead to freedom. What we demonstrate today, tomorrow, and the next day is not as important as the tendency which our thought is taking, the dominant attitude of our mind. If every day things are a little better, a little happier, a little more harmonious, a little more healthy, giving, and joyous, if each day we are expressing more life, we are going in the right direction. And so we meditate daily upon the universe and of all and the all good, the infinite indwelling spirit, which we call God the Father, incarnate in people, trying to sense and feel this indwelling good as the active principle of our lives. This is what the mystics call the man of the heart, or the angel of God's presence. This is why They taught that there are always two, for there is what we seem to be and what we really are. As we contact this higher principle of our own lives, which is perfect and complete, needing nothing, wanting nothing, knowing everything, being happy and satisfied, and as we daily meditate upon this indwelling God, we shall acquire a greater mental equivalent. For those who have always dwelt on limited thoughts, a very good practice is to dwell upon the magnitude of the universe. Think how many stars there are, how many fish there are in the seas, and how many grains of sand on the beach. Think of how big the ocean is, of the immensity of space, the bigness of everything, the grandeur of everything. Mechanically, if necessary, compel the mentality to recognize reality. Compel the consciousness to recognize truth, reason, if no other conviction comes. Think, see, and feel activity. Radiate life. Feel that there is that within which is the center and circumference of the universe. The universe is the result of the self contemplation of God. Our lives are the result of our self contemplations and are peopled with the personifications of our thoughts and ideas. Accept this without question, for it is true. Nothing is real to us unless we make it real. Nothing can touch us unless we let it touch us. Refuse to have the feelings hurt. Refuse to receive anyone's condemnation. In the independence of our own mentality, believe and feel that you are wonderful. This is not conceit, it is truth. What can be more wonderful than the manifestation of the infinite mind? Awake, thou that sleepest, and rise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. Prove me now here within, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Be firm, and ye shall be made firm. Act as though I am, and I will be. Onlook thou the deity, and the deity will onlook thee. As thou hast believed, so be it done. Ask, and it shall be given to you. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall prosper. So that's the reading, and hopefully everyone was actually able to hear that. Um, there's a lot in that. I love I'm going to start at the end and work back. I love all of those quotes at the end because they're just different ways of reminding us of the power of our word. Um, it's different ways of saying what we think become our experience in life. Um, and if we go back into the reading where, it makes it clear that mind is the only thing that moves. that we're not, the human us is not doing anything, that ultimately we are this infinite substance in form, and creation is the manifestation of the desire of this infinite substance to experience itself. And so, as emanations of that, as incarnations of that, we become portals of that. We become individualizations of that so that it can expand itself beyond simple replication of itself. And so we are empowered with all that it is. And so when we go to that inward place that the reading talks about and contemplate what is alive in us, not the human us, not what does the human me want in condition, but what is the spiritual, what is the essence of me seeking to express, and speak our word from there. That's what is moved into the activity of law, right? And law works it out. It's not our job at the human level to make it happen. And oftentimes we get in the way because law has already worked it out and the path is being laid before us. And when we get impatient in our human iteration, when we think it should be happening a different way, we jump in and actually circumvent the process that creation has already made whole, perfect, and complete, already made happen. We get in the way. Um, I love what it says early on in the reading. I remind myself of this frequently. When we make a demonstration, we must take what goes with it. And so I see Charles comment, words have power. Be careful what you say into existence. Yes, because our words do have power, and the operation of law doesn't filter. It just says, yes, you got it. Here it is. And, you know, everything that comes with that, right? Um, Oftentimes, I've worked with people who are treating to manifest the perfect job or the perfect relationship, and that shows up in a different part of the country or with people or persons that they didn't expect it to show up with. So creation said yes to the desire that was within you, and now you get to decide whether you're going to accept it or reject it. Um, what I have experienced is if that's where it's supposed to happen, that's where it's supposed to happen, and it's going to come up the same way every time. The bigger question, and I'm going to leave us with this to take into our meditation. Am I willing to let go of controlling the outcome and trusting law, creation, to know exactly the perfect timing, the perfect place, the perfect players, the perfect path, the perfect outcome? Am I willing to live in the mystery long enough to experience what I truly desire to experience rather than to experience getting my way? So I'll leave you with that, and we'll go into our time of meditation and contemplation. Here we go. Breathing in, I recognize it is life breathing itself. Breathing out, I recognize it is life breathing itself. One breath, one life, one power, one substance. Known by many, many names. God, Buddha, Allah, the great mystery, the divine. I know it to be nameless, because it cannot be conceived, communicated by one single idea or label. Infinite in its beingness, it cannot be contained in the finite. Unlimited cannot be limited. And so I simply recognize that names are ways of referencing, but never limiting what this infinite one is. I recognize that all creation is the physical manifestation of desires within this one to experience itself as each and every individualized expression of itself. And so I recognize that being here in form in this creation, that I must be a desire within this infinite everything to experience itself as me. And what is true of me is true of everyone and everything, seen and unseen. Each individualized expression, a one of a kind on purpose, never to be repeated. Desire in the heart and mind, in beingness of substance, of source, to experience itself, to expand itself as each individualized expression of itself. This is who we each are. This is what we each are. And so being made out of it, we must contain it. That must be all we are. And so its creative process is alive in us. The agency of creation itself, fully infused in every expression of itself. And so when I say I speak my word, I'm simply acknowledging my word as this infinite beingness speaking itself, moving consciousness, moving mind into manifestation through this expression of itself. And so I speak my word, claiming and affirming a renewed awareness of reality. What is real, beyond condition, beyond the seductive movie of humanity, to know the reality of the substance of our being. To be in that place of intuitive aha-ness that recognizes the divine self. Within ourselves and others as the truth of being. That recognizes the substance of one by resonance. And we allow that to be the tendency from which we desire to manifest. I affirm that we manifest with full knowledge that law is the doer, that the human me is the follower, not the dictator. And that awakening is joyful. That there is a faith within me that trusts so deeply that there is no longer a need to control anything. And in its place, celebrate everything. And even as I hear the words of the infinite moved into manifestation, the center of me smiles, knowing that the word spoken is the word complete. I feel the joy rise up within me at the realization. A celebration that the activity of cause and effect, the doer within the creative process that I call law, has already responded, already said yes, already made it so. So I can enter into this day with excitement and joy, with my eyes and my ears and my heart and my brain wide open to experience what has been spoken. And so I do. And I let go of any thought that would in any way slow down, impede, cancel what has been set in motion. And I invite the awareness throughout the day of any doubt, any fear, any reservation, knowing that as simply as it comes, it can go, simply by releasing it. Over and over again, I release. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you.